3 o'clock, and all's well. Please give a warm welcome to Rob Benedict.
How's it going? I feel so professional with the podium. Welcome to the world premiere screening of The Sidekick. We are so thrilled to present it to you. It's the first time it's been shown to a public, shown to a public audience, and we're ecstatic. And it's 28 minutes long, and afterwards we have a lot of the cast here and the director and the cinematographer to talk to you guys about it. So without further ado, please enjoy The Sidekick. Yeah.
Lizzy Caplan. Next we have director Michael White. Next up we have Jordan Peele. Jason Ritter. Martin Starr. Josh Meyers. Richard Spade. Cinematographer Steve Livingston. Alright, so let's get things kicked off. Rob, why don't you tell us about the genesis of the project and how you came up with it?
Well, hi. Hi everybody. Thanks for being here. This is very exciting. So yeah, the genesis was, well, you know, I turned 40. And I realized, and I didn't feel 40. This isn't what 40 looks like, I said to myself. And I still felt like a little guy. But at that time, there were two things. One was that I was going through this complex where I was like, if I quit acting, which I've been doing for 20 years, and before that I went to school for it, if I quit, like, I'm not qualified to do anything else. This is all I could do. It's too late for me to try anything else. So I started thinking to make myself feel better, like, about the superhero sidekick. And what does Robin do at 40? You know, what does Robin do when he's just not cutting it anymore? So that was really when I had the genesis of the idea, and it kind of spun out, you know, from there. And yeah, and then the other thing, I guess, is what I wanted to say is that I always identified with the sidekick because I was always kind of everybody's buddy, you know. And my brother is 6'4", and I was always really little, and so I was identified with number 2. So I thought, how interesting someone who goes through a process of figuring out where they think they're number 2, but they're actually, you know, finding a place where they're number 1.
Wonderful. Well, maybe Steve and Michael could tell us how they got involved with the project, because obviously they're responsible for the look of it as well, because Rob obviously is responsible for the script, but Steve and...
Well, I worked with Rob on a film a couple of years ago called A Little Help, and we remained friends, and he sent me this script for The Sidekick that he'd written, and just asked for my thoughts, and I loved it, and I was not working or doing anything at that time, so I said to him, you know, I could maybe squeeze out some time to maybe try to make this with you if you want. I'll have to check my schedule, but I had nothing but time, and it was just a thrill to be able to work on it with him. We put it together, and you know, and to have the opportunity to direct it and work with, you know, these people who most of whom I had never met before, but admired, and it was just tremendous. And as far as the shooting of it, Steve can speak to that, but we had 5 days to shoot this movie, 5 very tough days, and you know, I will segue this over to Steve Lubinsky, our director of photography, because he's really the hero of that particular part of this.
What was the question?
How did you get involved?
How did you get involved?
You know, I was very well compensated. So they had to pay me a lot of money. But Rob was a friend, and he gave me the script, and I read it. It was very funny. I thought it would make a great little short film, and you know, the rest is up there.
Steve was actually, he got really excited early on, and he said to me and Michael, he was like, I had this breakthrough idea, we should shoot it in 3D. Which, Michael and I were like, that's genius, but it just was shooting a little bit too high from what we were going for, and I imagine like handing out glasses to all you guys, it becomes a whole thing. So we were like, let's dial it down, but I like your enthusiasm.
And I was like, I'm not really very good at directing 2D even, so adding the third D may throw me a little bit, so.
I think you did okay, right? You look pretty good.
Really quickly, I just want to say really quickly at this point too, to acknowledge our producer, Alan Hagen, who's over here on the side. Alan, give a wave. Alan was, yeah, and also, Alan's the producer who basically was responsible for cramming all this stuff into 5 days. Like without him, we would not have been able to do this. And also, Jacqueline Aronson, who designed the costumes, is here. And again, quite a challenge to ask a costume director to do an independent movie, period, but to do one where you're creating costumes from scratch. And she would, you know, come to us and be like, so what'd you have in mind for this? And I was like, you know, like red or something.
Spandex,
right.
Something. Let's hear from the cast, because you've assembled quite an amazing array of wonderful, talented actors. So if we could go down the line and talk about how you got involved, kind of what your reaction was when you first read the script, starting with Lizzy.
Hello. First, I would like to say that doesn't Robbie Benedict look really handsome in his close-up on that thing? You look like really, just very rugged, manly. I think it started where you just emailed me and said, hey, will you read this thing and do you want to be in it? And I said, yes, okay, I will be in it. And cut to, here we are.
Here we are.
It's one of the more riveting tales. Hollywood tales.
I mean, from my point of view, I wrote it for you and was, you know, hoping you were available and able, and, you know, so it was like really luck that it worked out timing-wise.
Yeah, lucky for everybody here, right?
Lizzy and I have been friends for probably 10 or 11, 12.
Between 10 and 12 years.
No more than 12.
No more than 12.
Years, and this is the first time we've worked together.
Yeah, I guess so.
So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, and just getting to make videos with your friends is always really fun, and usually you do it for like a few hours in somebody's living room, and so this is like a larger scale, and I always say yes to things that are a large scale version